I am the Rum Soaked Pirate. So today is Monday. So this tutorial I decided to record it because during the weekend, one of my ex students was facing a situation at school where they have a lab, and so he downloaded a character with the textures. However, the textures were not in. They were included, but they weren't attached to the actual character in Maya when he brought it in. So I'm going to show you guys how to find out if it's attached and then how to attach it if it is not. So here we go. So the first thing I am going to do is I'm going to open Maya to test the character out. So um, the character was rigged. Um, so he got it off a Sketchfab. So it was rigged, which means the bones and everything were attached, um, but it did not have the JKIK files. I'll show you guys what I mean. Right now, I'm still asleep, guys. I apologize for this one. But I just thought I'd do a tutorial about how to approach that. It shouldn't take too long. And then I'm also show you guys how to also get the character rigged fast. I showed you in one of my other videos. But this one does not have IKJK either. I'm going to show you the options that Maya does have with the quick rig if the character is properly set up. If it's a weird character, then it might not work as good. So let's see what we get. Hold on. So we're going to let Maya load up. The only reason I am using this the Mac for now, number one, I have calm space here in the driveway. In my room, it's a big closed in, and the bed makes it comfortable for you want to go back to bed, and it's not a good thing, especially when it's nice and cool in the mornings. All right, so here we go. The first thing you want to do is press new. You're gonna get a blank canvas. This is your viewport, and I'm gonna go to my downloads, and it's called Metal Sonic. So this is the one I fixed, but let's go to the source, and I'm gonna drag this in. So if I hold all option, right click and zoom out once it's ready, I'm gonna show you guys what that looks like. So this is the character, right? So normally in Maya, to see if you added color to something, you press the number 6, and we can see that it has no color. What you're seeing here inside of the character is a rig. So if I click on it, press E, I can move the head around and twist it. So, but I'm not gonna mess with that right now. What I am gonna mess with is the color, because he was confused. He wanted to see the color. The first thing you're gonna have to do here, you're gonna have to separate this mesh, because the person that made this model separated the eyes and the body. It's not one full texture. And if you apply it, let me show you what happens. If you apply to this now, it will work. So if it was one single texture without the eyes being separated, you would just come all the way over to where it says, where's my? So he separated everything here. We're just gonna go to the color right now. Body base color. Right. So we're gonna go to body base. What is skin cluster? Let's try this out. See if no, that's not it. Body base. All right. It's supposedly connecting it. I don't see that happening at all. Base color texture, that's for the eye. That's not working. Let's try to reconnect these. So I'm gonna go to base color texture. I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna go to my downloads. I'm gonna go to Sonic textures. I'm gonna select the body and re-import it, see if that works. Okay, so that worked, and everything came in together. All right. The problem we're having is that you see how that looks white. That's no problem. What we can do is, let me see if I can assign a new material, a standard surface, and let's see what happens. Go. So here we go. But as you can see, the ice textures are off. Textures are off, right? So this is why I mentioned that we have to separate it. So it does look like it's supposed to. All the colors everywhere else are fine, right? But we're having an issue with the eyes. So my suggestion was select on the model, mesh, change from rigging to modeling, mesh, separate it. Don't do nothing else. Don't delete histories. Don't freeze. Don't do nothing else. We're just gonna unwrap this and ungroup it and put it back. So once it's done, I'm gonna select the eyes by themselves. I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna assign a new material. So I'm gonna select everything that has to do with the eyes. So one, two. All I'm doing is shift and clicking to select the rest of the group. Okay. I'm gonna right click, assign a favorite material. It's gonna turn gray. And with the color, I'm gonna click here, file. I'm gonna click on the folder. Oops. So let's make sure that this is selected. I hate when this happens. So click here, click on the folder, Metalsonic, textures, DIs, open. So now all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select that mesh one more time, mesh, and I'm gonna combine it. Okay, once I combine it, it's gonna take a few. I'm gonna ignore this real quick. Alright, this is taking too long. I hope it doesn't freeze up on me. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, I think this just crashed on me. This is part of working in 3D. Sometimes you're gonna run into bumps like this. But that's how you would do it, right? You would if you get that weird glow. Oh, look, it's back. Never mind. It looks like it's back. Okay, so it is back. Sometimes I'm very impatient. Like I said, I'm working with my M2 Studio and it's much faster than this, so I get impatient and I think that it's freezing. But here we are. We have that. We have our bones. So let me show you guys that it still works. So I'm gonna go to X-ray. I'm gonna take this joint here, and if I rotate it, it should work. Yep. Okay, so it's working. It's lagging a little bit. I don't know why this is happening. Maybe because, okay, it should work now. Hold on. Okay, so this is fine. So everything is still attached, right? Everything is still attached. So just so you can do stuff like that and fix it and reapply it and it will work. Another thing he asked me, when I imported these things were very small. He could barely see them. If that is ever the case, if your rig or your bones are too small, all you gotta do is come to display. You're gonna go to animation, slide over animation, slide down to joint size, and you can drag and drop these as much as you need. Okay. So you can make them bigger or smaller. You can just close this out, and I don't know why the animation is the stuff is taking too long to work, but it does work. Okay. So if I take another joint and I bend it, it's gonna work perfectly. Okay. So what I was talking about with rigging was the following. right? Let me go back. One, two. Let me just make sure he's in a regular standard pose. Okay, so another thing that I showed them, because I like to make sure that when I teach my students, they find alternate ways to approach things. For example, this does not have what I was talking about earlier, which is, let me show you guys. The IKFK, I'm sorry, IKFK, I said it wrong in the beginning. I was trying to think of it, but like I said, guys, it's really early. I'm asleep, so I can't think. The IKFK works like this. So I'm gonna take this, shift click. I'm gonna click, shift click, and I'm gonna click one, which is delete by type history. I'm gonna freeze transformations, and I'm gonna center my pivot. Okay, let me show you guys what I mean. So let's let this work real quick. Freeze and center my pivots. I'm gonna take this rig and I'm gonna delete it. What the IK does, I keep saying it wrong. The IKFK does is, if you grab the hips, it allows you to bring the body down and animate. I'm gonna show you what I mean. So with the other rig that this thing had, I couldn't do that. But let me show you guys a quick example. So I tried this before, and the skeleton is not gonna match perfectly. All I'm gonna do is just show you guys what the IKFK is. Um, Later on, we'll get into placing the joints and doing all that stuff. One of the downsides of quick rigging is that it does not give you fingers. It gives you just a basic skeleton. So let's try that out. We're gonna go to rigging with our mesh selected, skeleton, quick rig. You get two options. The step by step I can show you later on. But let's say I want to go with the one click because my character is regular. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna auto rig this. You're gonna get a process happening. I'm gonna show you guys why this is good and this is bad. Okay, so this is a problem. So it did give me a rig. It did give me the IKFK. Like I said, that does not give you fingers. It just gives you a regular overview. So let me show you what it means. If I press Alt, right click, and rotate, what IKFK does is the following. You guys see that square? If I bring it down, okay, the body follows that, which is, okay, so if I bring them up, you can see that the heels lift, right? So let's say if I wanted to have them leaning forward, right, I would just start put them in the main pose, right, bring them forward, and you can see that it reacts, right? You can see how the knees stretch and unstretch. um Let me set this guy back up. One of the things also, let me delete what I don't need real quick again. The other thing you can do is, I showed him how to export it to Mixamo, which I've showed you guys on my videos before. Um, but you're gonna have some issues with the skin in Mixamo because, like, again, this is not a regular character. So this is where you would have to learn to actually rig your skeleton, right? I can do a video about that later on. It's a long process, but I can do one later on. But let's just say I want to try the quick rig again. In this case, I'm going to press spacebar and F on top of all my viewports so everything is in focus. So let me show you guys how the quick rig works, but the other option. So I'm going to press quick rig. Let me move this out of here, close this. And I'm going to go step by step. You're going to click here, right? And what you're going to do is, you're going to press create. It's going to create a basic layout. It should anyway. Okay, yep. So in this case, what you're going to do is, you are manually going to place these points where they belong. You have to understand what you're doing in this case. So for example, I want this one. I'll press W, and actually this is my knee. I'm gonna turn it to the side and make sure that it's where it's supposed to be. Now with that selected, you can come here and it'll apply it to the other side. Okay, same thing here. I'm gonna bring this down right around here and click here. That one's fine. So now we understand that we have to bring all of this down. So we're gonna press W, select that group. We're gonna bring it down more. Select this whole group and bring it down more so it's around here. We're gonna take this one, we're gonna move it here, flip it. Always flip it, guys. Please make sure to remember to flip it. I'm gonna move this a little bit over, flip the other side, and from the side I have to make sure that this is aligned. So I'm gonna take this here, I'm gonna mirror it. I said flip, it's actually mirror. If you guys notice, this is off a bit from the side, so let's take, actually I don't know, I should really mess with that one. Yeah, I do have to mess with it. So this, move it to the wrist, mirror it, move this over to my elbow here from the top, flip it. I'm wondering if I should actually bring these down, but okay, so this would be the, I'm gonna bring this one down here, and I should leave that one up there. Let's see how that works out. So this is more or less how it would work. I am not gonna straighten these out because actually for what I'm seeing I should. Let's just straighten all these out. So I'm gonna take everything here and I'm gonna try to put it straight forward. Okay, I'm gonna try and line it up as best as I can. This needs to be here also. Yeah. This one, see if I should mess with these. Normally it should be straight, so I am gonna try to straighten these out as much as I can. Normally your spine and the character goes straight down, and then you bend it. It doesn't arc unless it's like maybe a snake or something. So I'm happy with these. What is this? This is the, okay, that one's fine. I'm not gonna mess with that one. I'm not gonna mess with that one. Here we have a decision to make. I want this one to be here. I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna leave that there. This should be the toe. I think I'm fine with that. Let's just move it over. Actually, let's move this over. And this one too. Click the first one, flip it. Second one, flip it. Okay, then once you're sure of what you want, you're gonna press create and update. Create and update. It's gonna do its job, give it a minute. Okay, so it's gonna give you that. And then finally, you're gonna press the skinning and you're just gonna press create and update. I think my character is broken for what I'm seeing, but let's see. Okay, and let's see what happens. Yeah, this is definitely broken. So this is why you really have to learn how to rig your characters, because you can do something like this. If this was a regular human being, this would have worked for me, but this did not. This obviously did not work. So this is the advantages and disadvantages of using quick rig, right? Your character has to be ready for this. The other option is you will not get IKFK, but the other option you have is Mixamo. I'll show you guys this in my other videos like I mentioned before, but I always want to make sure that you guys know that you have this option. Mixamo does give you finger uh, rigs, which is good. Again, it does not give you uh, the IKFK. So let's see if we can get to Mixamo. I might have to log in simply because it's been, I think it's been more than 24 hours. But the problem with Mixamo is, yeah, I do have to log in. The problem with Mixamo is, I'm gonna show you guys what happens with the rigging. Give me one quick second. With the mesh, actually. So let me approve this real quick. So it works really good, but it gives you a weird mesh artifacts because, again, it's not made. I mean, it looks like it's made for it because if I go to my characters, there's a robot in here, but it's not composed like Sonic. So there's a robot in here somewhere. Let's see if I find him. Okay, where's that robot at? I thought they had a robot in here for some reason. I guess not. Maybe I thought I saw it. But if you notice, everything's a regular skin rig, okay? Nothing is separated by ball joints. So that's why even this guy that is like a mechanical robot, it's still a regular, you see it, it's not separated into just like a ball joint. So this is, I'm gonna show you guys an example. This is my Conchita, right? So I painted some of the skin weights. I explained that skin weights, you have to blend in the meshes so when she twists and turns, it's not too sharp and it crunches up. So I did most of it just to test it out. And Mixamo should work like this. Right, you're still gonna see a little bit there. I forgot to touch that area up, but the rest of the body is fine. You don't see any ripping like that. You see the skin here? The rest of the body is fine, right? So if you look at it, I just missed that little piece there. You could see a straight line. That means that it needs smoothing. But it reacts to everything that I need, okay? This I would fix somewhere else. I would actually just pull the leg out. But for 95% of what I need, this is fine, right? It works just fine for me. This is the line I'm talking about right here, right? I need to smooth that area out. Other than that, I wouldn't complain. So what would happen when I upload Sonic? I'm gonna show you guys. So I'm gonna upload Sonic. This is the one. I'm gonna upload it. So it's called 2 because I saved it outside of the folder, and from my memory, I know that that's the second version of things that I don't have to mess up the original or mess with the original file. So let me show you guys how Mixamo works. So this is an auto rigger. Like I said, it works mostly with well prepared um, characters. This is going to cause a lot of problems because it's mechanical. So let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to place this one here on his chin. Make sure it's in the middle, guys. That's his chin for me. His wrist, come right to his wrist here. His elbows right around here, right around the rig. The knees and the groin. So in this case, he does have 5 fingers. I'm going to leave it as standard skeleton. But you can have no 3 fingers. It'll show you what that looks like. So it's a thumb and all these move like if you have a glove. 2 fingers. I'm sorry. 3 fingers. 1 moves. These 3 move as 1 and these 2 move independently. You can see the drawing here. 2 is like if you have a glove on, a boxing glove. So these close and it's just a thumb. And no fingers. It's just like a puppet. I'm going to leave it as standard skeleton just to try out to see what happens, and I'm going to press next. This takes about 2 minutes. So let's see how it should work faster with this one because it's not really high poly. It's really low poly. So mind you, I can't make a regular Sonic, which I probably will model and show you guys that it will work much better than this. Again, this is mechanical, so this is where you learning how to rig. You can find this online before I post mine. If you're very curious about it, you can. Um, but this is fine for me. But you're gonna see right here. This is where you're gonna have issues. Okay, so this is not professional grade. Like I always tell people, this is for you to either get something done quickly or enjoy yourself. I'm gonna press next. I'm gonna replace Conchita with this guy, and I'm gonna show you that we're gonna have to face a lot of problems. Okay, you see that there, right? Especially when it's gonna do something more complicated, you're gonna see a lot of mesh issues. Let me find something a little bit more intriguing than just to jump. Hold on. Okay, you can animate this and have a good time with it. If you press Alt right click it, Alt right click or scroll out, and then you can move in and out of the character. Okay. So if you just want to have a good time and do your thing, you can with this. Just understand that if you have a character like this, you're gonna have a lot of mesh issues because it takes it as one mesh, right? Um, that's the way I imported it. But if you want to have a good time and do some animations, for the most part, it will work. Um, I always tell you guys, if you have a problem with the hands, you can actually separate the arm space if it's too close to each other. Like in this case, they were like all on top of each other. I will separate them a little more actually. That doesn't. Let me see. Yeah, it's not good. So this is why this is just for entertainment purposes. So this is fine. I would spread the arms out on this one. Let me drop this, see what this is. Or you can expand the reach. But you're always going to face this problem that his hands are going to cross no matter how much I stretch them here. Okay, and even if I get them closer, we're going to have a problem. So let's bring this down and show you. Reset. Okay, so I think this is fine actually. Yeah, this is fine. Just like I said, to have a good time, it just, you know, again, this is not gonna make professional film grade, but it's gonna work. Okay. Um. So yeah, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in to this quick tutorial. It's more informational than actually a tutorial. Hopefully you got something out of this. Remember to follow the Rum Soaked Pirate on Instagram, YouTube. I am also on TikTok. Most of my tutorials will be on YouTube. TikTok is just more informational for the stuff that I do, either behind the scenes or that I sell separately, like my sublimation work, my DTF work, right? But thank you again for tuning in. I hope this helps somebody out. Like, subscribe, follow, and as always, drink up me hearties, yo ho. Bye, guys.